Hello everybody, this is Michelle from Butterfly Survivors Tribe. I'm here at the Angeles Crest Highway. It's up the 2 North, near Glendale, California. So the sun is coming up overhead behind me right here. So I'm going to try to angle the camera kind of more like that so it doesn't get too much. I'm going to have a little patchy sun here and stuff like that, but that's the way it goes. And once in a while there is going to be a car or two or three, driving either direction on the highway. But I wanted to be in nature, so how's everybody doing today? So today I'm talking about my childhood story of being a childhood sexual abuse survivor. And I'm going to continue on with the age I was talking about in the last video, which was I was 5 years old. So since it's summer, in light of that, I figure I would talk about this one time I remember. It's not all going to be like sexual abuse stories. Some of them are going to be about like physical abuse. Some are going to be emotional abuse. Some are going to be all three: physical, emotional, and sexual. So viewer discretion advised. Please, if this is difficult for you to hear, or if I start talking about something that you feel might trigger you, trigger warning. So, but I am doing these videos as a way to help people heal. So maybe some people are further along on their journey than I am. Maybe other people are not as far, and they can only talk about certain things or hear certain things. The idea is I want everyone that is listening to my videos to be able to be in a place where they can hear other people's story and also talk about their stories. Because when we get closer to the truth and we let the truth come out and come through us, it's like we're shining from within. And that's where you find the happiness. The more honest you get with yourself, the more truth you're able to discuss, talk about, and become aware about. It's awareness, take action to heal, and, look at the silver lining in the situation to have the best positive perspective you can on it, because we all know we can't change the past. So, this one incident that I wanted to talk about because it's summertime is I remember I was 5 years old and we had gone to the beach, and I remember the monster, who in this case is the abuser, I'm going to call him the monster. He he's 6'4", and like I said, I was 5, so he came and just like picked me up, and we were all on the beach, blankets, towels set out, whatever, getting ready to go into the ocean. And he just the waves started coming in, and, the tide started getting higher and the waves started getting bigger. So we just went out to go enjoy the waves and everything. And I didn't know he's going to do this. And we're out there kind of on one of the sandbars. And then he just picked me up, and here comes a 5-foot wave. And he threw me right into the center of that wave. And I remember I was so afraid. I was just trying to, I didn't really know how to swim, because us Gen Xers, a lot of us didn't grow up with swimming lessons. And if you didn't learn from your parents or family members, you didn't know how to swim. So I didn't know how to swim, and I felt like I was drowning, and I was screaming. And when I would come up to get air and everything, of course, he was just laughing about it and thought it was funny and didn't think anything, maybe he should help me or anything, of course, because I swear he really I felt like he treated me like the scapegoat. Like he really hated me. I was the smallest in the family, the easiest to abuse. So anyway, I was screaming, coming up with water, going down, coming up and screaming. And my other uncle, my youngest uncle, he heard me, and he came out, swam out and got me and helped me. And, the lifeguard was called and everything. And it was a crazy scene. And these kinds of stories, a lot of us Gen Xers have them. some boomers and generations before us. I think every generation, the older generations had it worse. The younger generations maybe a little better in some areas, but with sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse, if you were abused at all in any of these ways, I am truly sorry. And one thing that we have to remember as survivors, I think is the most important, is we are only as sick as our secrets. It festers inside of us, or sometimes memories will come up, and things that we need to talk about. And so I suggest finding a close, confident, a neighbor, somebody you go to church with, maybe your pastor, anybody that you're in community with, that you feel safe with, any friends or close family members that you feel you can talk to about this. Just don't hold it inside. Get it out. And know that the more you peel the layers of the onion, as they say, the more you heal. And if you're not holding it inside, then it can come out. And the thing that we have to realize is it wasn't our fault. The abuse was not your fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't your fault. Anyone who was a child at the time of the abuse, you didn't have a part in it. You just, had to take the abuse, because that's in a lot of cases where, whatever your circumstances were growing up and everything, we don't always have a choice what's in our outer surroundings. So I did end up talking to my pastor about it in my early 20s. I did, end up going to Al-Anon in my early 20s, and I was able to talk about some stuff there. I started seeing a psychologist in my early 20s. I became a mother when I was 19. So I've had a lot of therapy and healing, and I've done hypnotherapy, a lot of different healing. There's a lot of different healing ways. Even if you're just at the point in your story where, you want to read other survivors' stories, or you can't quite get the courage to talk about your stuff, but you want to hear other people's stories. There is forums online for that. I met this wonderful woman in Kentucky, and I was just typing back and forth in this survivors forum, and it turns out, we're the same age. We have pretty, similar stories, or that, you never know. So I would say reach out, even if you are just, starting to come up with the horrible memories, the memories that are just really hard to talk about. And even if you cry when you talk about, call 888, call the suicide hotline. If you can't talk to somebody that talk to somebody who is just a stranger, but that they are a counselor, that they're paid to listen to you. And the most important thing is to get it out. If you get it out and you cry about it, good. A lot of times crying is healing. You need to think about it the way like this. I thought about it when I first started talking about my stories. I thought, oh my God, I'm not really a victim. It's just some, abuse, some crap, some shit that happened to me, but it's not who I am. And that's the most important thing, is to separate yourself from the abuse that wasn't your fault. Because I think we can all just let it fester inside of us, and there's kind of like this black hole in your stomach, and you just keep suppressing it. The older generations taught the younger generations to just suppress, and it's this black hole in the pit of your stomach, and all sorts of things happen. You can gain weight, you can have a lot of other physical problems because of emotional issues, because of psychological things that you could have talked about that you maybe just didn't know how. So I hope I'm giving you some ideas on how to discuss what really needs to come out. And one thing that really helped me is I wrote a letter to the abuser. It wasn't like I was ever really per se planning on giving it to him. although I did one day, but I just wrote it out on a piece of paper. I got it out, read it to someone, read it to yourself, write a letter to the abuser, say all the things you never got to say when you were a kid, and watch how healing that is. Watch how healing that is. Watch how much that really, really helps you, that you're not holding it inside anymore. And even if you're only able to talk about a couple memories at a time, just like I'm doing. So I hope that helped you. And I hope everybody's doing well. The sun's really starting to peek over, and I'm at 10 minutes and 30 seconds now. So I will catch you next time. It's Michelle from Butterfly Survivors Tribe. Take care and enjoy your healing journey. I wish all of you the best. Till next time. Bye.